Okay, there are two types of surface areas of a solid. The lateral surface area is the amount of space around. That's supposed to be space, my bad. Around the base. So what that means is, like on a prism, like a box. Say you have a box. It's just all the surfaces around the box and not the top or the bottom. If you have a cone, it's just the actual like ice cream cone itself, not the top of the cone. If you have a pyramid, it would be just the sides of the pyramid. It would not be the bottom. If you have a cylinder, like a Coke can, it would be like the red around on a Coke can, not the top or the bottom. Whereas the total surface area is the amount of space. Oh, total space, I'm sorry. On all the faces. They are both measured in square measurements. So just like area would have been feet squared or meters squared, surface areas are also squared. The volume of a solid is how much they can hold. It is measured in cubic measurements. So feet cubed, inches cubed, meters cubed. Okay, so we need to go over the formulas for all of them. We are going to do all of the three-dimensional shapes today. So the lateral surface area for a prism is S equals P times H, and P is the perimeter of the base. H is the height of that object. The total surface area is this formula for the lateral surface area, so S equals PH. See, that's lateral. And then you're going to add more to it. For all objects, it's that way. It's always the lateral surface area plus something else. And for prisms, it's 2 big B. And big B is the area of the base. And then the volume of a prism is big B times H. So on this first one, the shaded part down here, this is all of the base, the bottom of this box. So if that is the base, that means that this right here is our height. We need to find our big P, which means it's 6 plus 8 plus 6 plus 8, which makes it sorry, forgot to get a calculator. 28. And then the big B, which is the area of the base, so the area of the shaded region is 6 times 8, which is 48. So first we're going to find our lateral surface area, which is big P times H. So that means it will be 28 times 2, which is 56. And we don't have units in this one, so we're just going to use a U for units, squared, because it's always squared. Total surface area is our lateral surface area plus 2B. So that's 56, because that's what we found for lateral surface area, plus 2 times our big B, which is 48. So that means it's 56 plus 96, right? Yep. And that equals 152 units squared. And then the volume is big B times H. 48 times 2, which is 96, and since it's volume, it's units cubed. This is a triangular prism, so that means that the triangle part, I'm going to do this in highlighter so it's not that confusing. The triangle, so this is the back half, this triangle is the base. So our height is right here, because the height will always go perpendicular off of the base. So 4 is our height. The perimeter of our base is 10 plus 10 plus 12, which is 32. And then we have the height of our triangle. Now remember when we did Pythagorean theorem, oh wait, this whole thing is 12, so that means that this little piece would be 6. So this is 6, and then this slant is 10, this one right here. And we're looking for the other leg. So 6 is 3 times 2, 10 is 5 times 2, so this is a 3, 4, 5 Pythagorean triple just multiplied by 2. So since this one is 4 times 2, this is actually 8. If you did not know that, you could do Pythagorean theorem. You could do 6 squared plus b squared is equal to 100 squared. not 100, 10 squared, sorry. It will be 100. Is equal to 100. B squared is then equal to 64. Take the square root of both sides, and b is 8. So for our big B, it's half, because the area of a triangle is half the base times the height. So we don't really need to know the 6 anymore. That ends up just confusing most people anyway. So this triangle here, half the base, so my base is 12, times the height, which is 8, which is 6 times 8, which is 48. So our lateral surface area is big P times H, which is 32 times 4, which is 128 units squared. Our total surface area is our lateral surface area plus 2 times our big B. So 128 plus 2 times 48, which is 128 plus 96. And that is 224 units squared. The volume is your area of your base times your height, which is 48 times 4, which is 192 units cubed. And as you can see, your total surface area is frequently bigger than your volume, and that is okay. That happens. Go to the next page. We are doing pyramids now. The lateral surface area for a pyramid is half the area of, the perimeter of your base times L, which this is slant height. So P is still perimeter of base. And now you got a new one, L, which is slant height. And the slant height of pyramids and cones, for that matter, is if you were standing at the very top of the cone and you slid down the side, the line that your booty would make as you're sliding down, that would be the slant height. Same thing on a cone. Whenever we do cones, we'll have a slant height. And if you were at the top of an ice cream cone and you slid down the side of it, the line your booty would make, that would be your slant height. Your total surface area is your lateral surface area plus the area of your base. So B is still area of base. And then the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 your area of your base times your height. So remember I told you that the slant height was the line you would make if you slid down, so that means 15 is my slant height. The height of a pyramid is if you were at the very, very top peak and you just fell down all like, what was that? An MI3 guy, you know. Fell down through the middle, try to steal stuff at the bottom of the pyramid. Anyway, I know, geeky, whatever. So this is the height. And then we need to find our perimeter of our base, and our base is, this is a square pyramid, so our base is a square. So it's 18 plus 18 plus 18 plus 18. So it's basically 18 times 4, which is 72 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 72. Big B is the area of the base, so 18 times 18, which is 324. So then we find the lateral surface area, which is half the perimeter of your base, so 72, times your slant height, which is 15. That is, remember half can be 0.5, so whenever you're doing this in your calculator, you can put 0.5 in for a half. 540 inches squared. Oh, I forgot to put in your formula. I usually do that. Oh, it won't let me select it. Oh well, you can see the formula. It's on the left. Total surface area is your lateral surface area plus your base, so that's 540 plus your base, which is 324, which is 964 inches squared. The volume is 1/3 the base of your area times the height, which is 1/3 times 324 times your height, which is 12. So this 1/3, you can always multiply it by either one of these, and or you can divide by 3. Well, 12 divided by 3 is easy to do. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So just do 324 times 4. If you wanted to do it in your calculator, you could do 324 divided by 3 and then multiply that by 12, or you could do 324 times 12 and divide that answer by 3. So that's 1296 inches cubed. Okay, so we need to find, this is our height, this is our slant height. The perimeter of our base is 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, which is 24. The area of our base is 6 times 6, which is 36. The lateral surface area is half the perimeter of our base times our slant height. So it's half 24 times 5, which is 60 centimeters squared. The total surface area is our lateral surface area plus our base, area of our base. So that's 60 plus 36, which is 96 centimeters squared. The volume is 1/3 the area of your base times your height, which is 1/3 36 times 4. 1/3 of 36 is 12, so 12 times 4 is 48. And it is not uncommon for pyramids' volume to be less than both of their surface areas. This is a triangular pyramid, and so this 8 right here is this side of the triangle, and then this 10 is this side of the triangle. So we actually need to find this other side here. And if you remember from before, 8 is 4 times 2, 10 is 5 times 2. So this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So this side is 3 times 2, which is 6. And again, if you didn't remember that, you could do Pythagorean theorem. You could do a squared plus 8 squared equals 10 squared. A squared plus 64 is equal to 100. A squared is equal to 36. Take the square root of both, and a is 6. 8 is also your height. It's pointing to this middle one, so this is my height. And then 12, this is where you would slide down, so 12 is my slant height. You have big P, which is the perimeter of your base, so you have 10 plus 8, 6, which is 24. The area of your base is half of 6 times 8, which is also 24. Your lateral surface area is half of your perimeter of your base times your slant height. So that's half of 24 times 12. $144 miles squared. Do not forget the miles squared. I will take off on your test. Total surface area is half your perimeter times your slant height plus your area of your base. So 144 plus 24, which is 168 miles squared. The volume is 1/3 the area of your base times the height, which is 1/3 24 times 8. 24 divided by 3 is 8. 8 times 8 is 64 miles cubed. Next up, we have cylinders. The lateral surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi RH. R is your radius, and H is your height. Your total surface area is your lateral surface area plus 2 pi R squared. And then your volume is the area of your base times your height. Big B for cylinders, and for cones for that matter, is the area of your base, but it will always be a circle, which means that it will be pi R squared. And then H is of course your height. So on this cylinder, since this is my radius, this is my height, and then the area of my base is pi 3 squared, or just 9 pi. My lateral surface area is 2 pi RH, or 2 pi times 3 times 12, which is really 6 times 12, 72 pi. Inches squared. Your total surface area is your lateral surface area plus 2 pi R squared, which is 72 pi, plus 2 pi 3 squared, which is 72 pi, plus 18 pi, which is 90 pi inches squared. Your volume is the area of your base times your height, which is 9 pi times 12, which is 108 pi inches cubed. Nine kilometers is my height, 7 kilometers is my radius. The area of my base is 49 pi. Lateral surface area is 2 pi RH. So 2 pi 7 times 9, 126 pi kilometers squared. Total surface area is your lateral surface area plus 2 pi r squared. Yeah. So that's 126 pi plus 2 pi 7 squared, which is 126 pi plus 49 times 2, which is 98 pi. And if you add those together, it's 224 pi kilometers squared. The volume is the area of your base times your height. So that's 49 pi times 9, which is 441 pi kilometers cubed. This is a cylinder on its side, but still the straight edge will always be your height. This is my diameter. So to find my radius, I need to split it in half, which means my radius is 3. There, my base is pi r squared, which is 9 pi. Your lateral surface area is 2 times pi times r times h, which is 2 times pi times 3 times 10, which is 60 pi feet squared. Your total surface area is your lateral surface area plus 2 pi r squared. So that's 60 pi plus 2 pi 3 squared, which means it's 60 pi plus 18 pi, which means it's 78 pi feet squared. Your volume is your area of your base times your height. So that's 9 pi times 10, which makes it 90 pi feet cubed. Our last flap is cones. So cones will be, the lateral surface area is pi r times your slant height, or is your radius. L is your slant height. Your total surface area is your lateral surface area plus pi r squared. And then your volume is 1/3 the area of your base times your height. And B is area of base, which will always again be a circle. And then your height. So on a cone, this is my radius, this is my height, this is my slant height, and the area of my base is pi 5 squared, so in this case it's 25 pi. My lateral surface area is pi r slant height, which is pi times 5 times 13, which is 65 pi inches squared. Your total surface area is your lateral surface area plus pi r squared, which means it's 65 pi plus your actually pi r squared in this case is the area of your base, so it's just 25 pi, which is 90 pi inches squared. The volume is 1/3 area of your base times your height. 1/3 25 pi times your height, which is 12. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, so 25 times 4 is 100 pi feet cubed. This one doesn't give me my height. I'm going to need to find it. So this part of my right triangle is 9. This part is the same as the other side of my slant, so this is 15. So 9 squared plus b squared is equal to 15 squared. 81 plus b squared is equal to 225. B squared is equal to 144. Take the square root of both sides, and your height is 12 meters. So we need to find the area of our base too. Pi r squared, which is 81 pi. Lateral surface area is pi r slant height. Pi times 9 times 15. And 9 times 15 is 135 pi meters squared. Your total surface area is your lateral surface area plus pi r squared, which again is your big B in this case. So that's 135 pi plus 81 pi, which is 216 pi meters squared. Your volume is 1/3 area of your base times your height, which is 1/3 of 20, nope, sorry, looking at the previous problem, 81 pi times 12. 1/3 of 12 is 4. 81 times 4 is 324. Meters cubed. And lastly, this gives us our height, and it gives us our diameter, but we kind of need to know our radius, which is 10. And then we need to know our slant height, so we need to do Pythagorean theorem again. So, let me see. 10 squared, I think it's 26. 10 squared plus 24 squared equals c squared. 100 plus 576 equals c squared. 676, take the square root of both sides. Yeah, 26. So the slant height is 26 miles. And then we also had to find your big B, which is pi 10 squared, which is 100 pi. So your lateral surface area is pi r slant height, which is pi times 10 times 26, which is 260 pi miles squared. Total surface area is your slant height plus your big B, which is 260 pi plus 100 pi, which is 360 pi miles squared. And then your volume is 1/3 of your big B times h, which is 1/3 of 100 pi times your height, which is 24. 1/3 of 24 is 8 times 100 is 800 pi miles cubed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do spheres, even though we didn't do them in class. You can get ahead if you want to, or you can just use this as a follow-up. So spheres, there is no lateral surface area because there's only one surface area. It can't be lateral. The total surface area for a sphere is 4 pi r squared. And then the volume is a funky fraction, 4 over 3 pi r cubed. If you put the 4 over 3 in your calculator, you would do parentheses 4 divided by 3, like that. If you're using a calculator at home, you would do 4 pi r cubed all over 3. But this is what you're going to be given in your formula chart. So just know that that's the way you kind of fix that if you're using a calculator. On this first sphere, it has a radius of 13 inches. So total surface area is 4 pi 13 squared, which means it's 4 times 13 squared, 676 pi inches squared. And your volume, 4/3 pi radius cubed, which means it's 4/3 pi 13 cubed. 13 cubed times 4 divided by 2. It is 29 and 1/3 pi inches cubed, or 29.33 pi inches cubed. It could be either one. Of course, 1/3 is more accurate. The bottom one is just rounded. Total surface area for this one is 4 pi 3 squared. And 9 times 4 is 36 pi centimeters squared. Your volume, 4/3 pi r cubed. And also the r cubed part in your calculator, you use this button. It's called the caret, and then 3. That's how you raise anything to the 3rd power. If you do it at home, you'll just have to multiply that number 3 times. So it would be 4 times 3.14, or 4 times the radius times the radius times the radius, and then divide that all by 3. Okay, 4/3 pi 3 cubed. So 4/3 times 3 cubed, 36. Really? Three cubed is 27. Divided by 3, 9. No. Okay, it says 36. I guess it's right. 36 pi centimeters cubed. Sorry. All right, and that's it for today. You should not start anything new until next Monday.